Good morning, everybody, and this is take two. I'm going to see if I can do this really quick. I'm doing it at the kitchen table. This is my work table, and there is my setup with just my things that I use on every book or in there somewhere in that pile of stuff. And I have another little bunny here, but I've got it under the book to prop the book up. I have those little bunnies sitting there. This is I'm calling this a Bad Days book, and I made these for the kids for Christmas because we had a really bad year last year, and it was rough on all of us. My husband and my son-in-law both had massive heart attacks, and we've had a really bad year. Things are looking up right now, but I wanted to do something for everybody, to give everybody a big laugh. And I'm telling you, I laughed so much when I was making these books, sometimes I would lose my breath. I've read them so many times now, it's not that funny anymore. But I'm just going to give you a quick flip through. I wanted the book to look like it was having a bad day also, or had lots and lots of bad days. Let me turn it over that way. Turn it back over. I'm propping it with one of my bunnies. So it's really banged and weathered like you would not believe, the whole thing. So let's go inside and see what we got. Has lots of old crazy funny faces in it. Lots of buttons, lots of old things out of my husband's workshop. That cow is saying being a functional adult every day seems a bit excessive. Relax, we're all crazy here. It's not a competition. This monkey says, I always start the day with good intentions, and I get out of bed, and that's usually where it all goes wrong. So much funny stuff in here. Our bedroom door is right beside my little office nook, and I get up like 2 or 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and I would sit at that desk and work on this book, and my husband was on the other side of the door still trying to sleep, and he would say, I would be laughing so hard at some of these jokes, and he'd say, get a breath, old woman, you're going to die in there. But it was so funny. I mean, it was so much fun making these. I just laid them out and did them assembly style. So I'd have everything done. Because I thought about this about 10 days before Christmas. So I had to I worked morning to night every day on these, laying them out assembly style. The cop says, I'm writing you a ticket for driving alone in a carpool lane. And the driver says, you're going to feel pretty stupid when you look in my trunk. I laughed and laughed when I read that. The first time I've read it about 20 times now. But it is so funny. This says, if you spell absolutely nothing backwards, you get, and I can't even read that word, which means absolutely nothing. Sometimes I tell myself, put down the book and get something done, and then I tell myself just to be quiet. Just lots of funny faces in here, lots of jokes, belly laugh jokes. To me, they are. I've got a huge, great sense of humor, so I laugh at so much stuff. I'm always laughing about something. But this says, be nice to your hairdresser, because what's stopping them from plucking one of your hairs out and putting it at a crime scene? Absolutely nothing. Why does the radio stop to tell you they play nonstop music? That is so funny. This one says, don't mess with me. I'm a wooden spoon, lead paint, no car seat, no bike, helmet, pickup, bed, riding, garden hose, drinking, survivor. I love that. Be sure to bring up politics at Thanksgiving dinner. It's going to save you a lot of money on Christmas gifts. Follow me for more holiday tips. This book to me is just priceless. I mean, all of them they're all identical. They all are the very same. I just said I laid them out and did them assembly style. All these faces, I got these out of some old books that I've had for 40 years. And they were some kind of hillbilly books, and I just made copies of the faces and used them. This one says, picked up a hitchhiker, seemed like a nice guy. After a few miles, he asked me if I wasn't afraid that he might be a serial killer. I told him, what's the odds of 2 serial killers being in the same car at the same time? Extremely unlikely. I laughed and laughed and laughed when I read that. But I've read these 20 times or more, over and over and over, because it took so long to do these. I mean, I worked and worked and worked nonstop to get these done. It says, my phone just filmed a 3-hour documentary about the inside of my pocket. Oh, my gosh. This says my kid asked me what I used to play on the iPad as a kid, and I told him I talked into a fan to sound like a robot. That's so true. I remember doing that. Oh my gosh. This is just an absolutely priceless book. This one says they're all belly laugh jokes if you have any kind of sense of humor at all. And if you're reading them for the first time, they are every single one a belly laugh joke. And I'm doing jokes on my page. Come over to my page, Kay Comer on Facebook, and follow, because I'm doing a joke about supper time every day, just one joke of the day to kind of relieve the stress from whatever we've had during the day. I do a story every morning, and it's just anything inspirational, natural healing, because I've studied that for 48 years. I have a website, and a lot of times I'll talk about health and wellness. Today I was talking about the healing power of beet juice, and that is amazing if you need more stamina or energy. So go over and check that out. And then at noon I just do a little inspirational quick minute, lunch break I call it. And it just takes 30 to 60 seconds to read it, and it's good. And then about 4 or 5 o'clock, I do an end of the day belly laugh joke, and they are so funny. But this one says, a woman visits her husband in prison. Before leaving, she tells a correction officer, "You shouldn't make my husband work like that. He's exhausted." The officer laughs and says, "Are you kidding me? He just eats and sleeps and stays in his cell all day." The wife said, "Well, he just told me he's been digging a tunnel for months." Oh my gosh. This is, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you're an expert on my life and how I should live it. Please continue while I take some notes." Is there ever a day when mattresses are not on sale? I love that hillbilly there. Is he not cute and funny? Oh my gosh. I wonder if people paying $300 for a colon cleanse knows about Taco Bell's $4.99 deal. Oh my goodness. You know you're a bad driver when Siri says, "In 500 feet, stop and let me out." When you're at the checkout line and they ask you if you found everything, say, "Why have you been hiding stuff?" Sometimes I wonder what happened to the people who ask me for directions. Oh my gosh, waiting for the police. Waiting to see how long it takes this police sketch artist to realize I'm describing him. Oh my gosh. Cop says, "Did I already read this one? I'm writing you a ticket for driving alone in the carpool lane." And the guy says, "You're going to feel pretty stupid when you look in my trunk." Oh my God. I don't know if I can read anymore or not. The cashier said, "Strip down, facing me," but by the time I read, by the time I realized she meant the debit card, it was too late. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. A blonde is driving in her car and turns on the radio, and it says that two Brazilian men were killed. She starts crying and says, "Oh my goodness, how many is two Brazilian? How many is a Brazilian?" I messed that one up, but I'm laughing and crying until I can't hardly see. If war breaks out between India and Pakistan, who in the world is going to answer the phone at all those call centers? This says, "Well, another day has passed and I didn't need algebra." Oh gosh. Let's see. Has anyone ever noticed that when asked what single item would you take to a deserted island, no one ever says a boat? I would say a boat. Oh. Oh gosh. I'm just looking over them to see if there's any that I can read and not. Oh my gosh. Uh, I like to make a list. I also like to leave them on the kitchen counter and guess what's on them when I get to the store. I do that all the time. I know you all do too. Some of you do. Some of you are probably perfectionists and you do everything right, but I'm not one of those people. Raise your hand if you ever had to read cooking directions from a package that you just got out of the garbage. I have. Oh my goodness. 3-year-olds of today can turn on laptops and use apps. When I was 3, I ate mud. Oh my goodness. This is called the Bad Days book. And for years, since the year 2000, since the year 2000, I have made Bad Days bags for all of the family for Christmas. And I did that because some of my family thought when the clock struck midnight on New Year's Eve in 2000, turning over to 2000, that the world was going to come to an end. And they were hoarding stuff like crazy. And I said, if the world's going to come to an end, what do you need that stuff? They said, well, if something happens and we survive. So they were just, oh man, it was just, so I made everybody a Bad Days bag for Christmas that year. And it was such a big hit. And it was just necessities like matches and candles and crackers, pop-top cans of food, and just crazy, crazy things. A survival book was in each one. And those bags were such a hit. I have done that every year since, and I still to this day, every Christmas, make everybody a Bad Days bag. And this year, since we had such a bad year last year with my husband and my son-in-law having the massive heart attacks, I wanted to do something extra funny. So in the Bad Days bag, I already had the Bad Days bags ready and sitting under the tree. And I said, I think I need to make a Bad Days book, a junk journal. I've been wanting to make them all a junk journal, and Kim has a few. But I wanted to make all the kids one, and so I said, I'm going to make a big Bad Days book and put it in their bags. And I'm just going to make it really, really funny stuff. And I'm going to make it look like it's been through a tornado or whatever, and just be all tattered and torn. And it turned out that way. I just absolutely love this book. I do want to do some more of these books, but I'm only going to do them by special order. And they were going to go run probably around $125, $135, something like that, plus shipping. So if you want a Bad Days book, let me know. And I'm not working during the month of January, so I wouldn't start it till the 1st of February. But just let me know. Go to my Facebook page, Kay Comer on Facebook, and let me know, and I'll put you on a list if we get a list. But I'm only going to make them by special order, because what would you do with a book like this? But they are so good, such feel-good books. I said this so many times when I'd have cutesy books or really aged books, but this is my favorite book of all time because it is so uplifting, so funny, and we can all use more laughter in our lives. Okay, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to get this thing uploaded. I hope you all have a super duper grand and groovy day. I hope you get a little kindness and spread a little kindness absolutely everywhere you go. And listen, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, this thing is about to perk up in February. So click like on the video if you did like it. If you thought it was stupid, you can give me a thumbs down if you want to. And subscribe to my channel. Help me grow. There's no better exercise for the heart than bending down to lift somebody up. So I could use a little help right now. Come to my Facebook page and follow me there. I do that story in the morning, every morning. I've been doing that for 20 years. And it's a pretty popular story. It's just can be inspiration, motivation, whatever. Funny. It can be funny. I do study holistic health and wellness for 48 years. So a lot of times I'll talk about health or home remedies or whatever. And now I've added a noon break in there, a lunch break, and it's just a little thing you can read in 30 to 60 seconds, and that's good. That's taken off pretty good. And then about supper time, about 4 or 5 p.m., I do a belly laugh of the day. And that's just to kind of help us have a good laugh at the end of the day and release some of the stress we've had from the day. And that has taken off really good. So come over and join me there, Kay Comer on Facebook. And send me a message if you want a Bad Days book. I'm going to get off here and get busy. And I hope you all have a super duper grand and groovy day. And I hope you get a little kindness and spread a little kindness absolutely everywhere you go. Love and hugs.